Now the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops, and it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
The term rhythm in a topwater bait, what does that mean? Well, rhythm is determined by the length of the jerk or pull and the length of the pause. Now that's amplified by how loud or quiet the bait is on the water. And all the rhythms, research shows, a stop and go retrieve is perceived by a bass as more like the action of living prey. Presentation is a key, like when it's windy. I use a bait like a popar to create additional sound, which can make a tremendous difference.
Traditionally, bass fishing has been a shoreline affair, and even deep water structure fishermen make occasional visits to this inviting form of landscape. You know, there's just something exciting about working along a bank, especially when you're fishing it with a topwater lure. Perhaps it's a constant anticipation that the dark little notch between the bush and that stump next to it will produce a nice-sized bass. Maybe it's just the pleasure and the solitude of being close to the shore, listening to the many sounds and watching all the little critters that live there or close by. There we go. Oh boy. Whoa, look here. Better fish right there. Where you going? Oh yeah. That's a pretty fair one. Come on back here, buddy. Ooh, he's better than I thought. He is much better than I thought. Come on back here. Let me get my hands in your face. That little popar. Oh, ah, boy, you hurt my hand. Come here. Come up here. Yes, sir. You got hooks all in your little face. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Now that one fooled me. I thought he was smaller than he was. See ya. Yes, sir, Reed. Okay, something that's important to this type of fishing is pinpoint accuracy. Being able to drop a lure exactly where you want it to land is a big part of the fun and the excitement of fishing the bank, and it'll produce more fish for you in the long run. Let me see if I can get out of this stuff. Get out of the bushes, Bill. Nothing is more frustrating to a shoreline fisherman than the constant need to ease into the bushes or trees to untangle a lure that's crocheted around an overhanging limb. Believe me. Oh, look at here. Oh, what a good one there. Come on, buddy. Woo! Look at the size of that one. Yay! Tough fish. All right, come on, you've had it. Don't want to quit. sounded like a mule when you hit. Whoppo. Pretty little fish. Look at that. Okay, thank you.
I had a fella tell me last week he hung a bass that almost pulled him out of the boat. Well, I never had one do that, but I did have a Goliath grouper almost do it. But just how strong is a largemouth bass? I really don't know. However, I do know that, like people, some bass of equal size are stronger than others. Now keep in mind that water is 780 times denser than air, and that moving through water requires much more energy. Now knowing this, you begin to appreciate the strength of a fish that can give just a few flicks of his tail and move through the water at burst speeds of 18 to 20 miles per hour. That's a bass. He can do that. So I'd say a bass is pretty doggone strong. Wouldn't you?
Okay, let me show you perhaps my most productive retrieve with a popper type bait. Normally, I have my best success by casting the lure. Now, once it hits the surface, what I do, I allow it to sit a second or two. Then I begin to work it with 3 short popping jerks. Then I allow it to rest. In other words, the presentation is 3 pops, a pause, and then a lot of times I'll go pop, 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 let it sit, and then I'll pop it again. 3 short jerks, and then I'll let it rest, and then I'll pop it again. Pop, 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 rest, pop. Or pucka, 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 pause, pucka. Calmer water, I don't jerk it as hard. If I got a chop on the water, I really pop it. Speaking of action a minute ago, let's spend a minute to discuss speed. Now, as far as retrieve speed goes, normally you'll find that the faster, more erratic retrieve works better, let's say in late spring to early fall when bass are bunched up and aggressively chasing shad. At other times of the year, you gotta alter your presentation to coincide with the conditions, location, and the mood of the fish. Now, sometimes it's fast, other times it's slow. Sometimes loud, sometimes quiet. You just got to experiment. You know, there are over 30 different popper chugger models on the market today, and believe me, they'll all catch fish, but some produce considerably better than others. You gotta always remember to experiment with different presentations when fishing lures of this type, simply because the personality of the bass changes so often. What worked an hour ago may continue to work all day, but it could change on your next cast. Once you find the best retrieve, stick with it until you feel it's not going to produce any longer. Then again, with different presentations until the fish tell you what they like best. Something as simple as a fast, slow, fast to pause, or a slow, fast, slow to pause can make the difference. Now stay on there, boy. Stay on there. These pliers and get you unhooked here, like that. Something else to consider about your presentation is the area of the lake that you're fishing. How the fish react to your lure in one section of the lake may be totally different at another location. There's reasons for this. It could be water temperature, water clarity, type of cover, type of forage, structure, pH, wind, depth, time of day, and even the time of year. That's why you should always be thinking about that all-important word, experiment. Talking about experimenting, it's not a waste of time. You learn from it. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Only if you have the desire and the determination. Watch those hooks. There we go. Woo! There we go. You liked that thing too, didn't you? Fat and chunky. Fat and chunky. See ya.